A very good morning to you. Happy Monday. I do not have my glasses on, so right now I'm looking up at a total blur. And Pam, our director, said, "You ready to go?" I'm like, "Yeah." Okay, now I'm ready to go. Oh, hello everybody. It's 7 a.m. Monday, November 10th, 2021. When did you get here? Welcome to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. It is a dank, it's so kind of Monday after a funky weekend that kind of went all ways, but we got a big weather change happening this week. 55 degrees right now, straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta, who's going to tell us all about it. So I'm looking at temperatures going like this.
Mm,
Was that kind of
they're
it?
gonna drop. Yeah, it's gonna be like a Wile E. Coyote scene, with Roadrunner. It's gonna fall. You'll hear the little
Oy.
whistle in the background as he's going down. Temperatures really dropping quickly today, so much so there's a freeze warning in effect for later on tonight for Hudson, Bergen, even over toward Essex County. And these are the last areas in New Jersey to experience that freeze warning. The rest of the state has already seen that freeze in the end of the growing season. So that expires at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning, again, for the very cold weather that comes in later on tonight. It'll happen as soon as this afternoon. So we've already hit our high for the day, where we sit at 50 in Morristown, 55 right now in Newark. It's not terribly chilly, but it will feel that way in just about 6 or 7 hours. Throughout the afternoon, between, say, this later on today, between 2 and 3 o'clock, temperatures dropping into the 40s and then the 30s, and then over into the 20s by tomorrow morning, especially with the wind chill. Had a little bit of rain last night. I think that's our last precip for the day. A few showers wrapping up right now down the shore through Stafford Township. They are exiting quickly. The winds today, even though they blow from the west, it'll still allow for a very chilly air mass to come on in. And then by the overnight into tomorrow, look at those gusts. 35-mile-per-hour winds on LBI, 26-mile-per-hour winds in Trenton. All of that wind allowing for a wind chill to make it feel like the 20s throughout not just the day tomorrow, but even into Wednesday afternoon with those strong gusts. Notice temperatures this morning starting off in the upper 40s and low 50s and plummeting throughout the day down into the 30s by 4 o'clock. So even while the sun is still out, we'll be teetering around freezing in northern New Jersey, dropping into the 20s through Morristown and Flemington, low 30s below the freezing mark through Newark and Long Branch, and then throughout tomorrow afternoon, barely rebounding, staying in the 30s most of the day. Perhaps even some snow showers appearing on the map just in the extreme northern section of the state. Another round of cold weather comes in for Thursday, and it stays chilly into the rest of the week. Again, we're around freezing each and every evening, starting off each morning, just below that freezing mark and barely warming up into the afternoon. So we're going to run about 10 degrees below average for the rest of this week and really make it feel like the first part of December rather than mid-November. Next few days featuring that cool down, especially tomorrow for Veterans Day, a very chilly 43-degree high. That is the average temperature for mid-December. And then for Wednesday and Thursday, we warm up only into the low 50s, but it'll still feel chilly through the rest of the week. We'll tell you more about it with the forecast wind chill. If you don't like the cold, you're not going to like the map. So we'll kind of deliver it gently, Ken, and make
Keep the
you
map
think
to
about warm
yourself, you.
things. Warm
Keep the map
things.
to yourself. You know what I mean? We don't want to see the map. Just you and me. It's Jersey talk. I don't know anyone in Jersey who talks like that. But nonetheless, like Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity, I don't know if you ever listen to him. He has a habit of
My
saying Joyzy. I don't know anyone in Jersey who says Joyzy. I have a
my
theory as
cousin
to where he
Emil,
got it.
my cousin
You have a
Emil,
cousin?
Emilio,
Right.
Emilio. Yeah, he kind of talks like that. So I mean, yeah.
He's the flag bearer. All right, Mike. Thank you, sir. It is currently 54 degrees, but that will change a lot, as Mike is saying. We just got to nosedive in the next couple of days, overnight, etc. In terms of traffic, we have a lot of stuff going on. Route 24 eastbound, east of 9B, Millburn, left shoulder closed. We have a disabled bus on the turnpike southbound at Interchange 1, Delaware Memorial Bridge in Carneys Point Township. Toll lane block down there. Down pole on Route 168, both directions south of Lakeland Avenue, Davidstown Road in Gloucester. All lanes are closed there. And remember, we were talking from last week about some of the parking lots at the major airports in the region being full. And a lot of that is because people are stuck wherever they are because of all the flight delays and cancellations. So, still, we're told JFK has 99% capacity. If you're basically headed to an airport, and check ahead, pack your patience. If you're headed to an airport, make sure you have reserved parking because otherwise you may get there and find out there's nothing available. So do that in advance. We also have issues now across your Hudson River crossings. Right now at the Lincoln Tunnel, we're told that there is travel time of 35 minutes just because of delays right now in terms of volume. In terms of the Holland Tunnel, that's about 25. And look at the GWB upper and lower level 8095 approach jamming at 7:05 in the morning. We already have 40 to 45 minutes crossover time. 7:05 right now, and some good news. Senators struck an agreement yesterday overnight, projecting confidence that it will be sufficient to end the lengthy Schumer Democrat government shutdown. So let's explain what happened here. The agreement was reached by a group of Republicans and a small handful of Democrats and should have the necessary 60 votes to clear the Senate. So it looks like it does. They have all 60 votes. So now what has to happen is this has to go back to the House. It has to clear the entire Senate, which looks like it will, because it's got the 60 votes all agreed upon. It goes to the whole House, and it looks like we'll have a majority in the House to approve what the tweaks were in the Senate. That's called reconciliation. Once it passes the House, then it goes back to the Senate just to sign off, and it goes to the president. I know it's a lot of steps, but that could all be done in the next day or two. That could happen. In fact, at 11 a.m. today, there's the next vote expected. Everything's expected to work. Then it goes to the president. And so we're talking maybe by the middle of the week, we will have everything reopened. The problem is now you have delays. You have people who haven't gotten their SNAP benefits. You have to get people to go in and retroactively give them the money. It's going to take some time. It may take a week or two at least to get back to normal. In the meantime, because of the Schumer shutdown, travelers across the country got screwed, quite literally. They scrambled to make it to their destination all weekend long as thousands of flights were delayed or canceled yesterday, the third day of government-mandated flight cuts. Over 1,300 flights had to be canceled yesterday alone. Some disruptions and delays were reported during the first 2 days of cuts, but uncertainty loomed as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned that flight cancellations could continue to grow if the government shutdown continues. Again, looks like we have a plan. Not open yet. Just because they may have reached a plan doesn't mean that it's open like that. It's going to take a few days. But for now, the government remains closed at this moment. So Secretary Duffy painted a stark picture for travelers yesterday. He said that flights could be reduced to a trickle ahead of the busy holiday season if we do not get the government reopened. Cuts will continue as air traffic controllers at dozens of airports work without pay and come under major staffing strain. Take a look right now. Pam, you have this. We sent it. The misery chart. There it is. So that is what's called the FlightAware misery chart right now. The very top of the list with the longest red bar at the upper right there. I can't point because it's all the way over. That top bar is EWR, Newark Airport. So Newark Airport, of all the airports in the United States, has the highest number of flight cancellations and delays. Just an anecdotal story. My next door neighbor from where I'm sitting right now, poor thing is stuck about 1,000 miles away from here right now. She was supposed to come back 24 hours ago, and she has been in an airport for 24 hours because can't get out. So Sean Duffy is saying that it can only get worse. And if it continues to get worse, he's going to have to basically cut down flights to a trickle because you can't overtax air traffic controllers. And many of them are not getting paid. A lot of them are threatening to quit because they got to feed their families. They're getting no money. You can understand. So anyway, we just hope this has been resolved. And hopefully in the next day or two, we'll know for certain that the government is reopened and it will only get better from this point. For right now, though, at this moment, the government is actually shut down. Fingers crossed. 7:09 now. Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill announced that Alex Ball would serve as her chief of staff and Tim Lydon as chief counsel. Ball had previously managed her gubernatorial campaign and held senior roles in Congress and at the DCCC. Lydon brings decades of experience in public service and previously served as a New Jersey Superior Court judge. I just want to point something out to you. See the way the governor-elect is, that little room like that? That when you watch a TV network and you see a big skyline behind somebody, you think they're in the TV studio with them. That's actually what they're in. They're usually at like the governor's mansion or at the House of Representatives, and they're in a little studio like that with a background like me, a background behind them to make it look like they're in the big studio. But that's where Governor-elect Sherrill will be, in something like that. Cheryl emphasized their leadership, integrity, and competence as critical to delivering on her agenda of affordability and service. Look, no matter where you stand politically, we hope that things work out because if things work out for Governor elect Cheryl, they work out for all of us, right? The appointments signal an early move to build a high performing team focused on results and transition readiness. A man in Chicago fired shots at U.S. Border Patrol agents during an immigration enforcement operation Saturday. DHS said the suspect, who was driving a black Jeep, still on the run. The incident took place during protests in the Little Village neighborhood of Chicago following immigration raids by feds. DHS says that agitators threw a paint can and bricks at Border Patrol vehicles during operations. Nancy Pelosi, the first female Speaker of the House, announced last week that she would not run for re-election after nearly 4 decades in Congress. Her departure marks the end of a long era in U.S. politics. The move is seen as creating a significant change in the Democratic Party's leadership dynamics. Pelosi emphasized it was time for a new generation to lead. Her career included 2 stints as Speaker, steering major legislative efforts and navigating turbulent political waters. Speaking on Meet the Press, President Trump said of Pelosi that she should be looked into for the hundreds of millions of dollars she earned while still only on a $175,000 a year salary. Listen up.
But who really profits is somebody like Nancy Pelosi, who uses inside information. She worked for $175,000 a year, and that's at the high end, and she's worth $150, $200 million. Okay? You ought to look at Nancy Pelosi, and you ought to look at some of these politicians that are stone cold crooks.
Stone cold crooks indeed. It's actually legal, believe it or not, for members of Congress to insider trade. I know you're going to say, what? Yeah, it's actually legal. Now, they don't call it that, but technically it is permitted until they change the law, and no one seems to be wanting to do that. A 37-year-old motorcyclist was killed in a crash outside of Wawa in Lodi Saturday. Police responded around 3 p.m. to the accident on Essex Street. First responders arrived, found the motorcyclist alive. That motorcyclist, though, pronounced dead a little after being brought to a hospital. The driver of the vehicle remained at the scene and is cooperating. The victim's identity not yet made public. Stockton University, recently recognized by Military Times as one of the top schools in New Jersey and the Mid-Atlantic for military service members and veterans. The Galloway Township-based university ranked number 2 in New Jersey, number 10 in the Mid-Atlantic region overall. The school features monthly veteran service officer visits and works really well with others. Coming up on 7:13, morning showers, maybe. Clouds through the day. It'll be breezy, highs around 49, then falling through the day. You're watching ONNJ Mornings. Going to get real cold tonight. We're coming right back. Don't go away.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
You know, when I hear that music with that pretty nice bright open, the pretty bright open says, "Good morning, everyone." Then the music, dun 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 dun. Sounds like I should like have my cup of coffee, be marching forward. What do you think? I think we should do that. We should have an opening video like that, meteorologist Mike Favetta, where maybe the two of us are like marching.
Like
What do you
Anchorman,
think?
the opening
It's like
scene there where they
Anchorman.
do their open.
Cups of coffee in our hands. We have an agenda. We have an agenda. So the agenda now, at least for Mother Nature, is the temperature right now, 55 degrees in northern New Jersey,
Mhm.
49 in Trenton. This is the high, right? Is it just going to
This
go
is the
down
high.
for the rest of
We're
the day?
done with the heat. It's going to be chilly this time tomorrow. You will need the chicken soup for the afternoon
Oh my
and maybe the
gosh.
cup of coffee throughout the end of the day. Yes, it's going to feel very, very chilly. So let this be your advice to get out that winter coat because tomorrow morning you'll definitely take advantage of it. Even though it starts off in the 50s right now, again, falling through the 40s into the end of the day. A little sprinkle activity earlier this morning is now wrapping up. No more rain expected beyond 9 a.m. What I wanted to show you before was the wind chill. This is how it will feel through this afternoon. 3 o'clock today already feels like the 20s across northwestern New Jersey, dipping into the teens by 9 o'clock this evening, 8 o'clock this evening up in Sussex, down at the freezing mark elsewhere across the state. And look at this, tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. 15 degrees on the green in Morristown, 21 in Newark. This is like mid-January chill, and here we are, just a few days into November, and we have that chill even lasting throughout the afternoon. We do it all over again on Tuesday morning into Wednesday morning with temperatures feeling like they're down around 20 degrees, and then for Wednesday afternoon into Thursday, another round of chilly weather. So the cold really doesn't quit. Even into the weekend, there's going to be a chill around, so really chilly weather ahead as we wrap up this first round of cold weather, providing that deep freeze for the whole state, including northern New Jersey, where you have that freeze warning tonight. There go the showers from earlier. They are headed out, and there's not much more behind it, but there are, however, some snow showers that will move in later on this evening into tomorrow morning. Maybe clip northern New Jersey with a few flakes and flurries tomorrow afternoon. Not exactly lake effect snow, but we can call them lake enhanced snow since the Great Lakes aren't frozen yet. Into the weekend we go, starting off Saturday, cool, climbing to a high of 49 degrees, and then making it back up to 52 on Sunday. So certainly not as mild as it was this past weekend, because it was lovely this past weekend. It almost felt like springtime. Yet here we are in the first bitter blast of fall, kind of letting you know that winter is around the corner, Ken.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just kind of bitter myself, speaking of bitter about that. Pam, our director, overjoyed, giddy when you started talking about that. She's woohooing in my ear right now. Loves the cold. Me, I'm going to curl up in a ball in the basement later. Not that we need to know this. And I'm just going to rock back and forth, sucking my thumb until tomorrow morning's show. I know, I know. Somebody call for help. All right, Mike. Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you as always. 718, 55, northern New Jersey. I find it interesting that it's 49 in Trenton, that it's actually colder down south right now from northern New Jersey. And right now, Vineland is 49 degrees as well. In terms of traffic, we're starting to get a lot of it. We have a disabled vehicle now reported on 287. This is southbound north of exit 10, Easton Avenue, Franklin Township. The right lane is closed, as you can see what's going on right there. So that's just causing a little delay. It's not massive, but because of the damp roadways, people are going a little bit more slowly. So expect the delays are going to increase through the morning, and just give yourselves that little extra room to stop with the car in front of you. We don't need more accidents. We also have a crash reported US 1 northbound, north of 295. That's down in Lawrence Township. A right lane and the right shoulder are closed there. We have a disabled bus on the Turnpike southbound, exiting at interchange 1 by the Delaware Memorial Bridge in Carneys Point. The toll lane is blocked, and we have a down pole on 168 both directions. South of Lakeland Avenue in Gloucester Township, all lanes are closed there. Also, 206, we have delays northbound from Flanders Netcong Road to Drakesdale Road in Mount Olive Township. All lanes are open, but things are very heavy through there. Again, the airports, if you are headed to any of the airports, first of all, call ahead because there are massive amounts of delays and cancellations. Even though the government shutdown may be over, it's not going to reopen until later in the week at earliest. So it's not like all the air traffic controllers are coming back today. They're not. We still have to print up their checks, get them their checks, get them back to work. This is going to take a week or two to get back to normal. So expect delays and cancellations. Call ahead. The other thing is there are parking lots at the airports that are jam-packed. So if you're driving to an airport in the area, make sure you check ahead to reserve a space, because you don't want to show up with 20 minutes to get through TSA and you have no parking space. So reserve a parking space, very important. Hudson River crossings right now, Lincoln and Holland, both 30 minutes. The GWB upper and lower, very heavy, 40 to 45 minutes, barely moving, making your way to Manhattan. 7:20 is our time right now. And overnight there was, or yesterday, I should say, into last night, strong earthquake and aftershocks in Japan. It triggered tsunami advisories along the coast. That, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. The earthquake, with an upgraded magnitude of 6.9 and a depth of 12 miles, struck off the coast of Iwate Prefecture at 5 p.m. Japan time. Now, the good news, because it was so deep, it sort of dissipated by the time it came up. But 6.9 is massive. We were told there were no immediate reports of injuries or damage. They built a lot of Japan to be basically earthquake proof. Much of it is. It's pretty amazing. So at this point, there were no abnormalities at their 2 nuclear power plants in the region of that fissure. It's just amazing that Japan has so many nuclear power plants built along fault lines, and yet they build them really well, with the exception of one that did have an incident years ago. The agency issued advisories for areas along Japan's northern coast where the tsunami there could reach 3 feet. They've been watching. Doesn't look like it's going to happen at this point. Parts of California, by the way, also experienced tremors at the same time. Literally, it's the opposite side of what they call the Ring of Fire. So this happens sometimes when the tectonic plate shift happens in Asia. The other side of that is California, and literally the plate does that or does this. And so sometimes when you have a shift over here, which causes an earthquake, you get a shift over here. It's exactly what happened. So literally within the hour of the shift happening in Asia, you had it happening in California. No damage in California, though, thank goodness. Or Asia, for this part, in Japan. It is 7:22, and if you didn't hear, senators struck an agreement, appears yesterday, projecting confidence that it'll be sufficient to end the lengthy Schumer Democrat government shutdown. So we had a number of independent or sort of middle of the road Democrats. There aren't that many of them left, but several of them, 5, crossed the aisle and joined with Republicans, and they will vote to reopen the government. So now the first step is to end the stalemate. They have to do the cloture vote. That means that now that there are 60 votes, they can move forward with the continuing resolution. So they voted on something that basically would give a little to the Democrats, but not much. One of the things the Democrats were insistent upon was extending the health care subsidies from the government of Obamacare's pandemic-era government Obamacare subsidies. They would not be extended. However, there would be a vote about it in December. So now, from now to December, on the next month, expect Democrats to be talking about Obamacare a lot, because they're going to want you to pressure Republicans to extend government subsidies. Do you know how much that is? Between $500 billion and $1 trillion freaking dollars. That's what happened. During the pandemic, we just spent money like it was just being printed out of thin air. You can't continue that way. It's unsustainable. Since the Obamacare insurance, which the Republicans warned about this 1,000 times, that Obamacare was going to destroy the insurance industry. It's going to cost you more. Obama says, if you like your doctor, you could keep your doctor. If you like your plan, you could keep your plan. BS. Because half the insurance companies went out of business and the other half of the insurance companies started making a fortune. And that's what happened right now. So the plans you have, the deductibles are through the roof. The cost of the plan is through the roof. During the pandemic, knowing that people weren't making money, the government stepped in and said, we will pay the subsidy, the difference for your insurance. But that was only supposed to be for a year. That was not supposed to be for 20 years or 100 years. So there's no way that could be sustained. Otherwise, we have universal health care, which we can't afford. Literally, it would bankrupt the country. You have to figure it out, pick and choose. You know the beneficiary of all of this? Thank you, Obama? The insurance companies. They're making a fortune, which is one of the things Luigi, the lunatic who shot the head of United Healthcare, Luigi the lunatic was complaining about that. There is no justification ever to shooting somebody. Let me make that clear. But this is something we do need to look at. And that is what the government's role is with insurance companies, health insurance in this country. In the meantime, because of the Schumer shutdown, travelers across the country scrambled to make it to their destinations. Thousands of flights were delayed or canceled yesterday. Again, over 1,300 flights canceled. Some disruptions and delays were reported this morning already. We have uncertainty looming as Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy warned flight cancellations will grow if the government shutdown continues. Now, we're hoping it will end now that the Senate has come to some resolution, but we have to wait till it happens. In the meantime, if it does not reopen, you're talking by Thanksgiving time, we may only have 10% of all flights operating. So get on the case of your representative and or senator. Say you want the government opened now so we can pay air traffic controllers and get them back. In the meantime, again, let's show the misery index if we can. Do you have the misery index? There it is. Thank you, Pam. So Newark Airport is the airport with the most flight delays and cancellations. You see that the big red bar at the top, that is from that Newark Airport. The Trump administration Friday moved to dissolve a preliminary injunction that bars illegal alien accused wife beater and human trafficker Kilmar Abrego Garcia of El Salvador from removal. That clears the path to get his ass out of here and to Liberia. He was supposed to go back to El Salvador and said, oh no, we have a judge order says I can't go back there because there are gangs after me. You know why they were gangs after him? Because he was a gang member himself. It was just the other gang was after him. Now both gangs are gone. They could have sent him back, but now he wanted to be a wise ass and say, no, government says you can't send me back there. Well, it doesn't say we can't send you somewhere else. So now we're going to send him to Liberia or some other country. Uganda wants him too. So now if his family wants to visit his ass, I got to visit him in Africa. Good luck getting a flight there. Real stupid move, Democrats. The Democrats were backing a guy who's accused of beating his wife maliciously on 2 occasions, human trafficking of children. Yet that's the hill the Democrats wanted to die on, to defend that piece of crap. Governor-elect Mikey Sherrill announced that Alex Ball will serve as her chief of staff. Tim Lydon would serve as chief counsel. Ball previously managed her gubernatorial campaign and held senior roles in Congress and at the DCCC. And Lydon brings decades of experience in public service and previously served as New Jersey Superior Court judge. Looks like some good picks by the governor-elect. And how about a 50-year mortgage? President Trump Saturday appeared to propose mortgages with 50-year terms, an idea that drew criticism from some financial experts, but praise from others. So if you think you can't afford a mortgage, maybe if they do the 50-year mortgage, you might be able to afford it. Supposedly, it would lower your rate significantly each month. It is now 7:27. When we come back, cool things to do. Cool things to do. We're going to be talking all sorts of things, and we'll talk to a guy who's a soccer star from our area. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
a very good morning to you. It is 52 degrees. That is our high right now at 7:30 on Monday, November 10th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to On New Jersey Mornings. In terms of traffic right now, we have a crash on US 1 northbound, north of Sand Hill Road, major road South Brunswick, a left lane of 3 lanes closed. Crash down toward Philadelphia on the I-76. Eastbound, east of exit 2, 676 in Gloucester. All lanes are open, though. We also have a crash on the Turnpike Hudson County Extension eastbound entering at interchange 14, which is I-78 in Newark. The toll lane is blocked by entry lane 1. And we have a downed pole on Route 168, both directions south of Lakeland Avenue in Gloucester Township. All lanes closed there. We have let's see, what was the newest that just popped up here? JFK Airport and the other major airports. The parking at the airports basically full. So if you're driving to an airport in the tri-state today, make sure you have parking reserved. Go online and find one of the parking lots adjacent to the airport, reserve a space. Otherwise, you might get there and find out you don't have any parking available to you. It is now 7:31, and meteorologist Mike Favetta has the full Garden State forecast. Our high now, and it's going to plummet after this.
Big time plunge. Yeah, anticipate a really chilly start tomorrow morning. And when I say chilly, I mean frosty, frozen across inland parts of New Jersey. Even at the coast, we'll be down at the freezing mark. Right now, you see the residual clouds that are hanging overhead from last night's rain, but already some clearing starting to appear, especially north and west down the shore, those clouds hanging out over toward the beach locations. But into this afternoon, the winds start to pick up and drive in that very chilly weather. So today will feel a little bit cooler this afternoon down the shore, whereas we start off in the 50s, we'll drop into the 40s, and then, the 30s by tomorrow morning. And you don't even have to wait until tomorrow morning to experience that chill. Most of New Jersey will be at the freezing mark by 4 or 5 o'clock today. So really cool weather on the way. Average, we should be around 57 degrees. We're going to go way below that throughout the overnight into tomorrow. So there go the last of the showers exiting now over the Atlantic. They won't be an issue anymore. The clearing that takes over today will bring on some sunshine, try to warm us up, but it'll be ineffective sunshine because through this afternoon, look at 4 o'clock today, already hitting the low 30s, dropping into the 20s tonight. These are not wind chills. Actual air temperature of 33 degrees in Long Branch and 32 in Toms River at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. It feels chilly all day tomorrow. The winds will be on the breezier side, but any wind greater than a sneeze will make it feel even colder thanks to that gusty wind chill and air temperature. And then throughout the day on Wednesday, still have that cold weather around, maybe a few snowflakes mixed in with a few light sprinkles off in northern New Jersey. So it's this cold front that moves on by today, allowing for that real chill to settle in. This is the same weather pattern you've been hearing about down south, out in the Midwest, causing snow for some of the football games you saw yesterday. Same system. Arriving here in New Jersey tonight into tomorrow, giving us that chill, and then giving us another round of cold weather throughout Wednesday into Thursday. So it's just overall a chilly week ahead without any major weather events, just the nuisance, sprinkle and snow shower in the afternoon. The 7-day forecast features those highs that barely budge out of the 40s and low 50s right throughout Thursday into Friday. The weekend might see a little bit of a warm up, but again, not by much. We're going to start off each morning around freezing, climbing into the low 40s each morning, and then back into the low 50s each afternoon. The shore points also staying chilly. Wednesday gets up to 56. That's our high. And then even throughout the weekend, we'll still be cooler than average going into next weekend, Ken. So again, no big rain or snow events, but the chill settling in here and kind of getting comfy and cozy in New Jersey for the next few days.
He is one of New Jersey's own and one of the brightest young stars in professional soccer. Nate Worth, a Chester native and product of the Red Bulls Academy, made his professional debut at just 15 years old, becoming one of the youngest players ever to take the field for Red Bull New York 2. After stints with the Tampa Bay Rowdies and FC Tulsa, he is back home with the Red Bulls organization and ready to make an impact. And this weekend, Nate and his teammates have their sights set on the 2025 MLS Next Pro Cup when Red Bull New York 2 faces Colorado Rapids 2 right here in Harrison, New Jersey. Nate, welcome to On New Jersey Mornings. Good to have you here.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Well, you bet. Welcome back to New Jersey, New York. You've had quite the journey already for somebody who's your age, starting in the Red Bulls Academy, debuting at just 15, and now heading into a championship match. Incredible. What has it been like growing up within the Red Bulls organization?
Yeah, it's awesome. As you said, I grew up here, so it's pretty special to play along, all my friends and all the coaches that have been with me for a while, and it's a really special group, and really happy to be, here at home and part of this great organization.
And you made history as one of the youngest players ever to debut for Red Bull New York 2. Take us back to that moment. What do you remember most about stepping onto the field? That first time you come out and you know you are a professional. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it was amazing for sure. Definitely a really proud moment for me and my family. As all young players, as they come up through the ranks, their goal is to be a professional soccer player, and achieving that dream was really an awesome moment for me and my family, and it was awesome, and definitely felt very surreal, as I was making my debut.
And it must do your heart good to see that professional soccer is growing the way it is in the United States. When I was a kid, and that was a lot of years ago, when I was a kid, professional soccer just wasn't here. There was, and then in the 1970s, you had a little burst of it, and then it kind of faded. But now it's really coming across strong. That must really make you feel good.
Yeah, it's cool. Just in the past few years, it's really been growing. You can see that in the fans that we're getting throughout the league. They're increasing, and as you have big players come through to the U.S., it really brings in a lot of fans. At Red Bull, we got Chupa Moting and Forsberg, and you got Messi in the league as well.
Sure.
It's really special to have these guys here, and it's definitely you can see making an impact on soccer, nationwide. So it's pretty cool.
And it's great to see the stands packed in many cases. That is very exciting for the game. And you've since played in the USL Championship with Tampa Bay and FC Tulsa before returning to the Red Bulls this season. Now, how did those experiences help shape your game and your mindset as a player?
Yeah, they were great experiences for me. Playing in a league, that at so young, and it was a men's league. I learned a lot on the field and off the field. It kind of taught me how to mature, and how to really grow as a person quickly at an early age. And on the field, it was really physical and good level. So I think it really helped me, shape me to be the player and person I am today. So really
What's your
grateful
what's
for
your
those opportunities.
I'm sorry to step on you. What's your role on the team now? Because you were a midfielder, right?
Yeah, yeah. I play in the middle of the pitch as a number 8, in the middle. So box to box. So it's good.
A lot of workout. And looking ahead to this weekend, the MLS Next Pro Cup against Colorado Rapids too. How's the team feeling heading into a match like that? And what's it going to take to bring home the title?
Honestly, we're feeling pretty good. We're undefeated so far in the postseason as to why we're in the final, but the guys have a lot of confidence, and I think it being at home is also really special just because all of our friends and family are coming, so it's gives us extra motivation to perform and to really, yeah, go out there and win the whole thing. So it's pretty cool.
That must be amazing. You grew up right here in Chester, New Jersey, right? And playing professionally just miles from home must be mind-blowing. So what does it mean to represent your home state on the stage and play in front of the family and friends you're talking about? The fact that your buddies from school could just come take a ride and see you.
Yeah, it means everything. These are the people that have supported you from day one, and when everybody didn't think you could be the guy and you could make it to this level. Those people were always in your corner, and I think it's really special just being able to represent them in the way you play and how you act. So I think it's an incredible experience, and it's definitely an honor to be able to, you're playing obviously it's got your name on the back of your jersey, but ultimately you're playing for, your town, what you believe in, all of those kinds of things. So it's more than just you're playing for more than just yourself. So it's pretty cool.
Would you say to all those 15-year-old Nates out there across New Jersey watching and dreaming of following a path like yours? What advice do you have for the next generation hoping to turn that passion for soccer into a professional career?
Yeah, my advice for them would just be to keep going. Honestly, it seems like a long road when you're going through it, but if you keep your head down, keep working hard, things can always turn out in the right direction. Um, so yeah, I would advise people to keep going and pushing hard and try to be the best player person you can be.
Chester, New Jersey's own Nate Worth here with the New York Red Bulls. All the best to you. We're excited for you. Thanks for representing so well, and thanks for coming on New Jersey this morning.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Unbelievable. He's only like 18, 19 years old. He's a kid. And what incredible talent he has. It's just amazing. All right, 741 right now. Back to breaking news this morning. This could be the week that finally ends the longest ever government shutdown. Now, if you missed it, just yesterday, senators took the first big step toward voting on a bipartisan deal reached between Democrats, Republicans, and President Trump that would fully reopen the government until January 30th. The agreement would also keep various other federal programs, including programs for food stamps and veterans benefits, funded through next year. The decision by a small handful of moderate Senate Democrats, a defect from the rest of their party, marked the biggest turning point since the shutdown began on October 1st. It's causing them some immediate political blowback by extremists like AOC, but America overall seems very happy. It is 52 degrees right now. Temperature is going to drop from this point. It's 7:42. Holiday season quickly approaching. We'll talk to a toy industry insider who knows all of this year's hottest toys. Morning showers, clouds through the day, breezy with the high again right now in the 50s, falling through the day, then really cold tonight. Mike will be back with a full Garden State forecast, and we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
Hello and welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato at 7:45, taking calls at 888-658-0234. What do you think about the possibility of the government shutdown being open, or being over, I should say, and the government being open? Give us a call, 888-658-0234. In terms of weather, some morning showers possible throughout the region and then clouds through the day. But get this, it's going to be breezy. The high is right now in the low 50s, right? That's about where the high is going to be forever, for at least the next few months, or close to it. The temperatures are going to fall through the day, and it's going to be into the upper 20s in a lot of parts of New Jersey tonight. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the Garden State forecast. Mike, does this mean I have to bring in my basil?
Yeah. Whatever basil is left. I think I have one little tiny leaf the size of my
I have,
pinky
I have
thumbnail.
twigs. I have two
Yeah,
twigs in one
exactly.
leaf.
Twix. My nieces were over last week and they're like, "Oh, let's go pick mint." I'm like, "What mint?" They're like microscopic leaves, it's out of season. But here we are. Yes, garden season is over. And after a kind of a rough season because you had to keep everything extra water due to the drought, good news is the drought is now ending. We have just this little area in northern New Jersey in Sussex County that's still under a severe drought, but that's tiny compared to what it was just a few weeks ago. A moderate drought toward areas in Tan, west of the Parkway and Turnpike, and then you have most of the areas along the shore that are doing just fine because you picked up so much rainfall, at least in the last 30 days. Looks really good for you. Above average rainfall where you see the shades of green, less than average in the shades of yellow, but only about a ½ inch to an inch deficit in the last 30 days. So doing much better. Well, now we see the deep freeze settle in tonight after temperatures today start in the 50s and then finish in the 30s. A big fall through the afternoon. Any of those early morning showers have wrapped up, so we're dry from this point forward, keeping our eyes ahead to the maybe milder trend next week. This week is going to be chilly, but you see this shift pushing all of this warmer weather east, and even a big deal of above average rainfall out west. However, here in New Jersey, we have equal chances of seeing some wet weather going forward in the next 2 weeks. Our 7-day forecast has plenty of sunshine, but plenty of cold weather, starting off below the freezing mark each morning, climbing only into the 40s tomorrow, the low 50s on Wednesday, and we stay with that below average feeling and that chill lasting even down the shore right into the weekend. Very chilly weather ahead, no big storms, but you'll feel winter's wrath by tomorrow morning with that bitter chill, with temperatures feeling like they're in the teens and 20s. Big time cold headed our way, Ken.
Not liking that, Mike. Not liking it a lot. I'm ripping the gold stars off the forecast. All the gold stars. We're going to put new glue on them and put them back in the drawer. That's it. And to say she'll give you gold stars because she loves the forecast. All right,
Nice.
Mike. Thank you. It's kind of a yin and yang thing with Pam and me with
Yeah.
the temperature. We'll check back, Mike. Thank you, sir. 52 degrees right now in northern New Jersey, 49 in Trenton, and again, it's just going to plummet, like Mike said. This is the high, so the winds are going to pick up. Clouds are going to be in. It's going to feel like a raw, damp day, and the temperature will drop through the day until the upper 20s tonight. Cold. There you have it. It is 7:48. But when it's cold, don't you think holiday season? And the holiday season brings in all the joy, right? It's just a few weeks away. You've got Thanksgiving like 2 weeks from now. And that means finding the perfect gifts for the holidays for the kids. Elizabeth Werner is one of the top voices in holiday toy gifting and whatnot. Let's go to Elizabeth right now. She's with us, and boy, do you have a setup, Elizabeth. You would make any kid all happy with what you have there. Tell us what you have in
I'm
front of
here
you,
to I'm
Elizabeth.
here
Good
to warm
morning.
everyone up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for having me. This time of year when it gets chilly, I think of all of this as being heartwarming, and we're getting ready to enter into a really fun season.
Then you could see that for sure. And so talk about, first of all, you have tons of experience in the toy industry. You know everything about toys. So tell us the trends that you're seeing for holiday season 2025.
Yes, absolutely. So I always like to say that our trends, well, they go and cover a lot of different territory and areas. We're seeing a lot in the educational toy category. We're seeing some very cool electronics, but really keeping kids up and active and still playing and thinking themselves. And we're seeing some items that encourage kids to be entertained, but without screens as well. So really the whole gamut this year.
Well, it's interesting you say that now because obviously the toy market has changed so much in recent years. Toy soldiers making way for technology. How do toy makers maintain that balance? Because I still love to watch, the old claymation holiday cartoony things, but they like for them it's Santa brings one little wooden toy soldier hung on the tree, and you're like, okay, that was very 100 years ago. So how do they balance that? You want to give a toy, but at the same time it's got to be all electronic today.
Well, honestly, they really do balance. So you can find all of those of the soldiers that you loved and the Tinker toys and the Lincoln Logs. They're still all there. The Etch a Sketch, the Rubik's Cube, the Slinky. We are very careful to keep all of those classics a part of everyday play. But we also know kids are looking towards a little bit futuristic items. So we make sure that we have a little bit of everything for everyone.
All right, you got to help me out here. This is a very personal Ken Rosato favor. I have a great nephew who turns 3 in a week, and I don't have a
Yes.
clue. So we always get something holiday-esque, and I could get him a big gift that would be combined birthday, Christmas. And no kid wants that. Kids want their own gifts. What do you get a 3-year-old today?
So we have a couple of great things. I'll start off with an award winner. This is called the Tony Box 2. This is an amazing entertainment system for our kids that has no screens. So what the kids do is they take a Tony, which are these cute little characters you're seeing, they place it right on top of the box, and instantly it begins to either tell a story or sing a song, or perhaps it's their favorite book, maybe a lesson that they can learn. Now all they have to do to get this to work, place the Tony on top, they can tap the box, they can squeeze on the box's little ears to bring the volume up and down. It's very simple, created for them. Starting as early as age 1, they've got some really great new My First Tonys, cute little chunky fun characters. They've got things to help them go to sleep, things to help them wake up. They have great songs, great stories, loads of entertainment, and they even have games now. This is going to take them from the age of 1 all the way to the age of 9. So this is definitely something to look for. And by the way, out of the hundreds of Tonys they have, I guarantee you that there will be all of the favorite characters, movies, books that he loves. So you can definitely look into this one. Now, I have to say, another one that I love is right here in front of me, the Fisher Price Laugh and Learn Mix and Learn DJ table. Now, this thing is amazing. First of all, it's gotten loads and loads and loads of video hits. Some of these video hits of these little toddlers playing with this and making music with this have over 100 million views. They're going to work on their fine motor skills. There's 12 different activities built in, and there are 3 modes of learning. So they're going to work on everything from colors, numbers, shapes, letters, bilingual phrases, songs, you name it. But the best part that they love, they get to make music, whether they're working on the piano or using some of the cool DJ stuff that's in there. They're going to mix their own music, record their own music. This is absolutely amazing. Starting off as early as 6 months, you can take the legs off and they can just put it right on the ground, and then working their way up. So those are a couple of great ones for little ones. Now, like 5 and up, I have to tell you, if the kid's asking for a pet, go digital. I mean, I'm just going to say it's a lot
Oh.
less mess. They can fully interact. This is called the Bitsy hamster ball. This is amazing. They can interact with this. They're going to care for their own pets, feeding, petting, bathing, exercising, all of those great things. And as they're playing with this, they're going to unlock and find 20 other hamsters that they're going to be able to play with. The hamster starts off as a baby, then it's going to level up to a teen, then it's going to turn into what they call super bitsy. So along the way, they're going to be able to customize their hamsters because kids love this. You know, the hats, the looks, the outfits, the whole thing. They're going to be able to play mini games. This can go with them, travel with them everywhere. It's really small. You can turn it off. Nothing happens to the pet. Still going to be there when they come back. As a mother of 4, that's important to me. So they're going to have a lot of fun with this one. Now, finally, for the older kids, including you and I, this is where it's at.
Uh-huh.
My robotic pet coding chameleon. Okay, this is an
Oh my
award
God.
winner. I love this. It's for ages 8 and up. Now, check this out. They're going to build this from the ground up. So they're going to build a chameleon. Then they have a loyal robotic reptile friend because they're going to be able to work with this with all of the things built in. There's a color sensor, an infrared sensor, LEDs. They're going to be able to program and code this. So it'll change colors
Oh,
based on the environment it's in. You can actually code it to walk in a certain direction. You can put it in a different mode. It's going to stalk prey. It's going to walk around. Its tongue's going to go out looking for some tasty treats. You can train it to follow its owner around so that see, you can see, or a bunny, whatever you want. You even, as you pet it, it will respond like a puppy and be excited and happy. This is amazing. There's a reason that it's won so many awards. It's a Toy of the Year finalist. It is not only fun, but it's going to be teaching them coding without a screen. Mother approved on that one as well.
I love it. And by the way, I'm on Instagram Live behind the scenes as I'm live on the air with you in front of the scenes. And some of the folks have
Yes.
chimed in and they said, "What about Hess truck? What about a train set? And then what else? I got
Yes.
what about Matchbox
Yes.
cars and Spider-Man dress-up outfit?" My little grandnephew, 24 hours a day, he's in his Spider-Man dress-up outfit. What is it about this outfit?
Okay.
Is it
So
because it gives him chest?
I love it. Listen, and my daughter was Cinderella for 2 years straight. No matter what she wore, her Cinderella dress was on top. I love that they use their imagination. Hess truck, definitely check out. We've got some really cool Hess cars this year. I don't want to give away too much if you haven't seen it yet,
Oh,
but amazing. When it comes to cars and trains, those are absolute staples. I want to see a train around the tree or around the menorah. I want kids on their bellies, vroom, 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 playing with their various cars
yep.
and trucks. All of those are staples. My job is really to come and bring and introduce some of the new stuff to you. But trust me when I say, as a mother of four, 2 boys, 2 girls, I love all the basics. So make sure you combine the old with the new so you get a little bit of excitement on all ends there.
You are literally sent from heaven, and I mean that. You have just given me 100 ideas. You've helped me with my shopping. Elizabeth, what is a website if people want to see more about you and your ideas?
Yes, you can check out WernerInfo.com for information on these items, or Elizabeth Werner TV to follow some of my toy adventures. And hopefully we'll get to speak again soon.
Please, you are such a public service for everybody. You're amazing. Thank you so much, and you kind of set the holiday mood for me. Elizabeth Warner, one of the
Oh,
top
good.
voices in the
Thank
toy
you.
industry. You are the best. Come back again, please.
Thank you so much.
All right, and happy holidays. And when we come back, a milestone from one of New Jersey's most inspiring programs. Plus, we'll take your calls at 888-658-0234. In terms of weather, a couple of morning showers around still. We're going to have clouds through the day. It's going to get blustery, though, breezy, cloudy, dank, kind of damp and gray. Highs right now, 54 degrees northern New Jersey, 49 in Trenton. The temperatures are just going to drop from this point. They don't go up, they go down. Tonight into the upper 20s. Full Garden State forecast in a moment. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Mike and I will be right back. Don't go away.
Our Stable Life, New Jersey's first equine wellness center. Are you or a loved one suffering from PTSDs, trauma, or life challenges? Consider non-riding equine therapy, where the soul is touched by the presence of a horse with a certified counselor. Our Stable Life is a non-profit at Bergen Equestrian Center in Leonia, New Jersey. We partner with individuals, groups, and agencies to help people recover from addiction, trauma, phobias, and more. Explore equine therapy for healing. BergenEquestrianCenter.com.
At AmeriHealth, we understand what's important to you. It's why we offer some of the lowest cost health plans in New Jersey, with access to one of the state's largest networks of doctors and hospitals. Plus, with free 24/7 virtual care, you can see a doctor anytime and anywhere. And we're committed to giving back to help make a difference in our communities. Learn more at AmeriHealth.com. A health plan for everyone.
A very good morning to you. It is now 8 a.m. Wow, the morning's flying by. Monday, November 10th, 2025. Welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. We will take your calls. The lines are open 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Talk about anything you want. Talk about what our guests talked about. Talk about some of the politics, the fact the government may be reopening, how you feel about it. Let us know. 888-658-0234. Clouds through the day, a couple of morning showers, then it gets breezy, a little blustery, highs right now 54 degrees northern New Jersey, 49 in Trenton, and it just goes down from here. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta. I guess that would be a front coming through causing the wind. Am I correct, meteorologist Mike? I'm not hearing you.
That's
There we
why,
go.
because the mic was on mute. So when the mic is on
Mike
mute,
and the mic.
you can't hear me.
Mike and the mic. You know, my
Mic and the
husband is
mic.
begging for a mute button for me. He's been saying he's trying to get a mute button so I can walk around the house saying this.
Yeah, I know. Um, there's a lot I could say. There's a lot I could say there, but it's my wedding anniversary today, so I have to be nice today. Have to be
Happy
nice.
anniversary!
Thank you so much. Yeah, is no, we're gonna be good. We're gonna be a good husband today. We're gonna be nice.
You're always a good
But
husband. You guys are an
gotta
awesome
be,
couple.
gotta stay warm on a day like today, right? It's you gotta cuddle up, snuggle up, enjoy the warm blankets because with the cold weather that's around today, we're gonna be freezing later on tonight. There's already a freeze warning on tap for northern New Jersey. This includes Bergen, Hudson, eastern sections of Essex, and right down through eastern Union County, east of the Parkway. West of the Parkway, you've already seen your freeze. So this is the end of the growing season for all the gardens in New Jersey. And look at that, we're dropping now into the 40s. We started off in the 50s across all of New Jersey, and now some 40s popping up in Trenton, soon to be in Flemington. So look at that temperature change, seeing that temperature slide quickly throughout the day, allowing for temperatures to feel like they're around freezing going into the rest of the morning and the afternoon. Notice the last of the sprinkles now exiting, so we've seen these showers overnight. That's why you wake up this morning, the ground is all wet. But I think with the wind picking up throughout this afternoon, a little gusty breeze helping to usher in that cold air and making it feel quite chilly. So with actual air temperatures now starting off in the 50s, falling through the 40s this afternoon, look what happens as soon as 4 o'clock today. Now the sun will still be up at 4 o'clock today and will already be right around freezing there from Sussex, Morristown, even down toward Flemington, dropping into the 20s. Actual air temperature, not a wind chill. You factor in the wind, it'll feel like the teens tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., then lasting into the afternoon with temperatures feeling like they're around freezing most of the day. Could even have a few snow showers tomorrow, with a few flurry bursts there in northern New Jersey tomorrow afternoon, and again on Wednesday afternoon, some lake enhanced snow as a little upper level system swings on by. Doesn't really warm up going into Wednesday or Thursday. Temperatures again holding around 10 to 15 degrees below average, so the chill will be prolonged into Thursday and Friday. Not even warming up this weekend at all. Look at tomorrow's high, only getting up to 43 as a high. That's pathetic for the second week of November. And then by Wednesday and Thursday, maybe getting into the low 50s, but it's really going to feel chilly, especially with the wind, Ken. Wind chill in the teens, not pleasant, coming off such a beautiful weekend with temperatures that, felt like they were in the 60s. It was gorgeous.
So here's my little reminder, and I do this
Okay.
every year because now I'm an old man, so I dry out very quickly. Drink extra fluids. In the cold weather, we tend to forget. We think of drinking fluids in the hot weather. In the
Yeah.
cold weather, you need to drink extra fluids because it's so dry from the heat, right? The heat in the
Right.
house. Secondly, even if you don't think you need it, put on moisturizer on your hands and lip balm on your lips, because otherwise, one bout of cold wind in the teens outside, you will get chapped lips and you'll hate yourself. So, right? Just a
Right.
reminder.
That's
I'm an
it.
old man, old fart, reminding the youngins that's what you got to do this time of year. Okay, there. I've spoken. Now I sound like grandpa. Thank you, Mike. We'll check back with you in a little bit. And happy anniversary to you and your wonderful wife. God bless you both. Nice deal. It is 8:05 right now. In terms of traffic, let's go over to the Garden State Parkway, southbound, north of exit. We have two. Excuse me. Another one just popped up. Go to the first one I'm talking about, disabled vehicle on the GSP. This is the one, Pam, you have. Southbound entering the Essex Toll Plaza, Bloomfield. There's a toll lane blocked by exit 6, and look at what it's causing. We literally have 7 different camera shots we could show you, and this one is one of the more interesting ones. But they're all the same. Everybody's bumper to bumper, and it's all around the Essex Toll Plaza due to a disabled vehicle. And there, that is not a wide toll plaza right there. So that's causing a lot of delays, as you can see, for folks getting in there. Now, also on the Garden State Parkway, just about 10 miles south, there is a crash on the GSB southbound north of exit 136, which is Stiles Street in Cranford. Left lane is blocked. That exit, for some reason, we get at least an accident or 2 a week there. Something's up with that. I think as people go to slow down by that exit, they must hit each other or something a lot, but it happens. There's a down pole on Route 168, both directions south of Route 747, Davidstown Road, Gloucester. All lanes are closed there, and we have delays on the turnpike by I-80 northbound from that's the merge of the turnpike and I-80. Northbound turnpike from the Mixing Bowl in Ridgefield to I-80 Express and local lanes in Ridgefield Park. All volume causing 2 to 3 mile delay there. Now, Pam, you happen to have that other issue that we had earlier. If we can go to that, that is the New Jersey Turnpike Hudson County Extension by exit 14. We have a disabled vehicle off to the right as these folks go forward. So that's what we have right there. And while Pam gets us our GWB cam, which we're going to go to, we're going to tell you about a problem going into the Lincoln Tunnel. Now we have it's eastbound from the New Jersey side of the toll plaza. All lanes are open, but travel time due to volume is 35 to 40 minutes. It's 25 to 30 at the Holland. And now GWB 8095 approach, upper and lower, both heavy, but moving a little better, believe it or not, than they were half an hour ago. We're talking about 35 minutes across to make your way into Manhattan. 8:07 right now is our time. Murray House is the state's longest running group home for adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities. The organization is moving into a new, fully accessible location in Clifton. It's a home that was founded more than 50 years ago. It was named for Jimmy Murray, who himself had a developmental disability, died back in 1969, but not before leaving behind an inspiring legacy. Scott Milliken is the CEO of Catholic Charities for the Diocese of Paterson. Good morning to you, Scott. Good to have you on.
Morning, Ken. Thank you.
I worked with Catholic Charities when I was at Channel 7, Catholic Charities Brooklyn, Queens for about 15 years, Catholic Charities in Manhattan for 5 years. So I'm very familiar with Catholic Charities. I was a Catholic priest for many years. I don't know if you know that, 30 years ago. So I'm very, very much, let's say, my heart is for Catholic Charities. I love you guys and what you do.
Actually, Liam Monsignor Sullivan, you're good friends.
There you go. Yes, there you go. God bless him. Murray House has quite the history. Talk about the importance of the move into the new home in Clifton and why it's so important to stay in Clifton.
Our folks who we support, they've lived in Clifton all their lives. But when we started group homes 55 years ago, we didn't realize the impact of the aging process on the people that we serve. And having multiple level homes is not conducive to them living in place. So we were able to purchase another home, a ranch style home in Clifton, where people we can continue to serve them safely, and they can age in place as they grow old.
That's the thing. You think of a parent who has a child who is developmentally or emotionally challenged, and you think, oh, the parents will take care of the child. Okay, until the parents get older and pass. Who takes care of that adult at that point? And that's the beauty of having this. You have people in a group setting, they live independently or somewhat independently. They have somebody there in the home to help them, but they live as adults and they get to have a fulfilling life. And that's the beauty of this. How many years again have you folks had this home, and will it be a challenging transition into the new facility?
We've been operating Murray House since 1971, so 55 years. I've been with Catholic Charities 34 of those years. And it's going to be an easy transition. Our folks were involved in the process of purchasing the home, and they're very excited to move. We're having a grand opening next week, and they'll be moving in, and they're very excited, trust me.
That's nice. How many adults will be able to live in that house?
We'll have 5 adults with developmental disabilities living in the home.
And it's funny. I remember when I was over in Brooklyn, Queens, Catholic Charities Brooklyn and Queens, and they opened a facility, and they said that amazingly, some people in the neighborhood were upset. And then once the people moved into the facility, they realized, why were we upset? These are the best neighbors ever. The adults in the homes near in their communities, they were like the nicest, the best. You have no problems. That's the thing. So anybody who was like, it's going to happen in our neighborhood. These are adults with developmental disabilities. They're not going to come. They're not going to be partying at 4 o'clock in the morning. These are the greatest neighbors you could ever have. So this is going to be a boon for the neighborhood, I'm sure. And you
Yeah,
run a whole bunch of group homes right through the diocese. So what are some of the special needs when it comes to supporting people with developmental disabilities?
we operate 10 group homes in Morris, Passaic, and Sussex County, and we're currently
Wow.
looking for another ranch style home to purchase in Morris County. We have an independent living housing program. We're supervised apartments in Wayne, New Jersey, and we provide support, coordination, and case management for over 250 families whose children with disabilities are aging out of the school system in Sussex County. And then we run a day program for 54 adults who come to our Grunert Center Monday through Friday for work in Lake Hopatcong, New Jersey.
Wow. I was going to ask you that. Can people volunteer to help, or is it strictly hired staff? Because I know you need a lot of specialized staff, so they would be hired. But one of the things for those who don't realize, Catholic Charities gets over 90% of their donations right to the people. It's one of the most efficient charities in the whole country, and you do just amazing work. But can you also accept volunteers?
Yes, we have over 3,000 volunteers throughout the Catholic Charities Network each year. And people can volunteer to be at DPD, either a one on one volunteer with one of our individuals, or we have volunteers who've started programs to help the community. They do food drives and pet food drives and uh, eyeglasses for our veterans and cards to our veterans. So they like to be acting and supportive members of our community.
Fantastic. Scott Milliken, we got to have you on for a longer segment. Scott Milliken, who is CEO of Catholic Charities for the Diocese of Paterson. God bless you and good luck with the opening. And thank you so much for joining us and for what you do.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you.
You bet. And when we come back, the holidays are quickly approaching. No better place to celebrate than right here in the Garden State, but we're not talking the mountains. How about Atlantic City for your getaway? You're watching ONNJ Mornings. We're coming right back.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Hello and welcome back to ONNJ Mornings. I'm Ken Rosato. 8:15. We'll take your calls. 888-658-0234. 888-658-0234. Some morning showers still. Clouds through the day. It'll be breezy. Highs right now, actually, what we have at this moment. These are the highs for the whole day. It's going to plummet from here. So we're in the low to mid 50s in northern New Jersey, or I should say about 50 in Trenton, and Vineland's 49 over by the Philadelphia border. It's about 49 as well. But it's going to go down. So meteorologist Mike Favetta is going to tell us all about it. Mike, are we talking temps in the upper 20s tonight?
Feeling like the upper teens tomorrow with the wind chill, but Ken, just in the
Yikes.
last hour, it's dropped about 3 or 4 degrees. So you already feel that chill coming in, and it's coming in fast through this afternoon. We'll be in the 30s throughout the end of the day, likely touch the 20s by tomorrow morning. So really chilly weather on the way as the kind of damp feel lingers through this morning. Again, these forecast highs, well, that already happened. We're now dropping through the low 50s into the 40s into the end of the day, and the wind chill tells it all. Through this afternoon by 3 o'clock, a wind chill of 26 degrees in Sussex, 29 in Morristown. Say, well, I'll be in Newark. I'm going to escape the chill. No, you won't. Look at what happens by 8 o'clock tonight. 26 is your feels like temperature in Newark, 31 in Long Branch, and 21 in Flemington. And then overnight into tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. feels like temperatures. Yeah, it feels like 15 up and down New Jersey. Feels like 19 in Trenton tomorrow morning and 24 in Long Branch. So a deep freeze settling in for tonight. And it lasts throughout the day tomorrow. Most places in New Jersey tomorrow will not feel like it's above freezing for at least the next 48 hours. Once we get beyond about 2 o'clock today, it feels like it's below the freezing mark even through Thursday at 7 a.m. So by the afternoon on Thursday, that's where we start to feel like we're back in the upper 30s. A real prolonged chill setting up here for this week in New Jersey. So again, the clouds are on their way out. We get some breaks of sun through this morning. It doesn't do anything to warm us up, in fact, with all of this cold weather pooling over the Great Lakes, allowing some of these snow showers to come in by tomorrow. It's like adding insult to injury. Get a few snowflakes in here by tomorrow afternoon. Nothing accumulates, but there could be a few rogue snowflakes mixed in with an afternoon sprinkle tomorrow. If you look forward to the weekend and think, well, it's got to be warmer by then, not so much. Only up to 49 on Saturday and 52 by Sunday, still running about 5 to 9 degrees below average into this weekend. So a real chill that doesn't exactly want to quit, Ken, going into this weekend.
All right. Thank you so much, Mike. Yes, the chill. Imagine that happens as we approach winter. Winter's
Oh,
only like
right.
5 weeks away. That's cray. Doesn't happen. Can't happen. I'm going to close my eyes, and when I open my eyes, it won't come. That's it. We're going to be, late spring. Summer's about to start. Still approaching winter. Why does that happen to me, Mike? All right. I'll go back to the
I'll get
therapist.
into the
Thank
analema.
you.
It's a whole long, scientific explanation, but we do have longer winters here in the northern hemisphere than folks on the other side of down under, for instance. So, see, there
Interesting.
is something
See
behind
that?
it. Mm-hmm.
Did not. That means we got all moved to Australia. All right. We'll just do the show from there. No one will care. It'll be good. Mike, thank you so much, sir. We will check back. It is, and Mike is right because I said it was 54 points up in degrees a few minutes ago. It is now 51.8 on this thermometer and 48 in Trenton. So it has dropped in both places on cue, as Mike said, because he's never wrong about this stuff. That's why he is a meteorologist. In terms of traffic right now, we have a crash to report on the Garden State Parkway. We have actually two incidents. There's a crash southbound north of 136 Stiles Street in Cranford with the left lane blocked. This one is the first one. Actually, my fault, Pam. I said the wrong one. This is southbound entering Essex Toll Plaza in Bloomfield. The toll lane is blocked, a lane 6, but look at the residual delays as a result. That's backing up about half a mile as people make their way around. And you can see on top of that, they have construction. So that's just causing an absolute mess. And that's in Bloomfield. I'll let you pull up the other one, Pam, when you can. Southbound, there's that accident on the Garden State at 136 Stiles Street in Cranford. There you go. The left lane is blocked there. So they're about 10 miles apart. Actually, about 8 miles apart. Garden State, though, just give yourselves extra travel time, folks, because it is wet out still from earlier scattered showers, and that's going to cause a little bit of a slowdown wherever you go. If you're headed to any of the area airports, many of tomorrow's Veterans Day, so a lot of kids are off from school. People are off from work. Many of the airport parking lots are at 99% capacity, literally. JFK's major lots are at 98%. Actually, now the major lot at Terminal 4 is 100% occupied. I tell you this because you don't want to drive an hour to an airport, find out there's nowhere to park your car. So make reservations for the parking lots in advance. Get on an app on your phone. You can make the reservation, and at least you'll know that you'll have a reservation when you get there. In terms of your Hudson River crossings right now, Lincoln's 35 across, 25 to 30 at the Holland. GWB upper and lower levels, very heavy, but at least we're moving right now. About 40 minutes making your way into Manhattan, upper and lower levels. As you can see, the upper is a little better on the right than the left. The left is the lower, 35 to 40 minutes in. It is 8:21. The holidays quickly approaching. There is no better place to celebrate than right here in the Garden State. From festive boardwalk lights to big name entertainment, Atlantic City, AC baby, is transforming into a holiday hotspot this season with special events, giveaways, seasonal deals, shows. There's a brand new Times Square campaign shining a spotlight on the shore, and there's a lot to get excited about. Joining us this morning with all the details is Karina Anthony, Executive Director of Marketing for Visit Atlantic City. We say good morning to you, Karina. Good to have you on today.
Hi, good morning, Ken. Thank you for having me, and so I can discuss all the fun and diverse holiday entertainment and happenings in Atlantic City.
I have a friend who actually has a show there. My Big Gay Italian Wedding is
that's
playing
so
there. It's been playing for
fun.
months. My friend Anthony Wilkinson. They pack every night, and AC is the place. For people who haven't been there in years, they got to get there. So now talk about the holidays and what you guys are doing for the holidays in AC.
So there's truly something for everyone, whether you're coming as a couple or with your family or even as a single. We have arts and entertainment. There's a Winter Symphony at Borgata November 28th, the Atlantic City Ballet on December 4th, Cirque Musica Holiday Wonderland at Ocean Casino Resort on December 14th, and of course the Nutcracker Ballet at Caesars on December 14th. And there's also various tree lightings throughout the city. You could even go tree lighting hopping if you wanted to. They start at the Quarter in Tropicana on November 21st. And then we have local neighborhoods such as Ducktown and Chelsea having them on December 5th and November 29th also at Showboat.
It's fun. And I'm so glad that Atlantic City, which has so much to offer, is opening up and getting beyond like summertime because it's such a beautiful strip there. It's gorgeous. Talk about there's a lot up for grabs this year. That's what they put in the script, and they didn't tell me what that meant. So what does that mean? There's a lot up for grabs.
So you mentioned our campaign in Times Square. We are marketing giving the gift of the Atlantic City experience. Because as you know, we all have so much, but we love to gift experiences to our loved ones. So why not give the experience of the beach, the boardwalk, the casinos, the shows, the lights, and book your stay in Atlantic City. And in our Winter in Atlantic City page on our website, you have a chance to win an exclusive getaway to Atlantic City.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's all on visitatlanticitycom, and our campaign in Times Square has been running since October. It will run through January 6th. It's also in the Newark Airport, Northern New Jersey, and New York. And, we're just hoping to get more visitors here, more travelers seeing our new advertising, because we're not just marketing Atlantic City proper, but we're marketing the region. And we want people to come and experience Renault Winery with everything that they have for the holidays, Smithville Village, Storybook Land even. We all want to work together to market the region because we get a lot further when we work together than we work alone.
And the beautiful part about Atlantic City is you are drivable at a time when air travel is questionable and sketchy right now. You are drivable from New York City, you're drivable from Philly, you're drivable from Delaware, from Baltimore, even DC. It's a fun getaway, and it can be done in a matter of hours. You get to Atlantic City, you park your car, everything's right there. So, and Atlantic City also has a focus now on family-friendly and wellness experiences. Talk about some of those.
We do. So Caesars Atlantic City is very focused on wellness, and we have the world's largest indoor water park for families. We have some real fun pop-up experiences such as Santa's Hideaway, which is at Ocean Casino Resort. And then for the adults, we have the Jingle Bell Bar at Ocean Casino Resort, the Candy Cane Lounge at resorts, and you can't forget the holiday shopping, which is at Tanger Outlets, as well as the holiday villages that we have throughout the different properties. And we will, for the first year, have an Atlantic City festive market that will coincide with our holiday parade on December 13th.
All right, you've now made it because one of my favorite things. I'm from the New York area, and one of my favorite things each year is I go to Peddler's Village, but that's on the Pennsylvania side, and it's fun. It's adorable, and it kind of puts you in the holiday mood. The fact that you're going to have a holiday market there in AC, that's perfect because there's so much to do in Atlantic City. You can go down a whole weekend, get all your holiday shopping done, and you're doing it in the Garden State. That's brilliant. This is a brilliant concept. Do you foresee this growing now year after year?
We do, we do. We start the planning very early. I would say about like May. May we started the planning for the holidays, and we're starting now for next year. We hope to grow it bigger and better. We hope to bring a lot of unique activations to Atlantic City because we want people to get out and to experience the city and to shop, to dine, to play. So there will be some really unique things coming for next year as well.
I love it. I love it. Give that website again, please.
Visit atlanticcity.com.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it now. I've been promising my friend Anthony I'm going to come down and see his show. I've seen it before, but I want to see it in Atlantic City on the stage there. My big
Please
Italian wedding.
do.
It's packing, and he has been getting such huge audiences in Atlantic City. Your getaway for the holidays, no longer just the birthplace of the boardwalk. Atlantic City. Karina Anthony, Executive Director of Marketing for Visit Atlantic City. Thank you for joining us. Happy holidays.
Thank you, Ken.
You bet. Thank you. It is 52 degrees and the temperature is dropping and will continue to drop all day long. When we come back, what were the security lapses that let thieves steal priceless historic pieces from the Louvre? Plus, there's a new scam out there involving your credit card. Thieves could be charging up a storm while your card is in your pocket. Brand and digital strategist Fisher will join us with more. Phone lines open, taking calls at 888-658-0234. And meteorologist Mike Favetta says some morning showers still, clouds through the day, breezy, damp, highs right now, low 50s, and then falling up to the 20s. You're watching on New Jersey Mornings. Back in a minute.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
A very good morning to you. It is Monday, November 10th, 2025, 53 degrees at 8:30, but that's going to change. Temp's going to drop a lot, like 30 somewhat degrees through the day. I'm Ken Rosato. Welcome back to New Jersey Mornings. Again, morning showers, clouds through the day, breezy. Again, high right now of around 50, but falling. Downright cold tonight. Meteorologist Mike Favetta. Mike, let's just say my long underwear is afraid. It's hiding in the drawer and
Oh.
won't come out. That's
I've got
probably
the big
TMI,
wool
but
socks on this morning,
yeah.
and I feel like they're not doing much. It's just that chilly already. I mean, I have the air conditioner set to 62, so that also helps, keep it chilly. But
I
I'm
do
getting
too
ready for
because
this.
of the lights.
I'm getting ready for the season, right? Hey, the weather graphics have to come from somewhere, right? This big server in the
Right.
corner generating all this heat, but here we are. Like you sound old men kvetching about stuff. It will be cold by this time tomorrow. You might as well just make it feel like Christmas by the time we get to tomorrow morning with the chill that'll be around. Some clouds that are around currently won't be there for long. I'm already starting to see them break up west of the Delaware, and all of these clouds shifting eastward through the course of the morning, aided by a pretty gusty wind through this morning. So right now, those winds anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, but turning very breezy this afternoon, ushering in that very chilly weather. You could say goodbye to these 50s because this already happened today. We are falling through the 40s right now, on our way into the 30s by later on this evening. We'll be well below average by tomorrow morning, barely making it above freezing for most of New Jersey. All of those showers have now shifted east out over the Atlantic, so it's a clearing trend today. And again, with the clearing that occurs this afternoon, northwesterly wind pushes in that very chilly weather and replaces that mild feel from the weekend. So as temperatures drop into the 30s and the 20s into the overnight, very chilly weather for tomorrow morning, feeling like the teens with the wind chill. And even though the sun is out tomorrow, look at this, we're barely leaving the freezing mark there in northern New Jersey, possibly staying in the 30s down the shore. So that chill is here to stay, not just for tomorrow, but even for Wednesday and Thursday, with rounds of clouds that come in each afternoon. So not a whole lot of warmth to enjoy over the coming days as a series of cold fronts comes on in. The first one now working on by, bringing in a few flurries by tomorrow afternoon with some snow showers. Nothing accumulates, but then another cold front by Wednesday afternoon kind of reinforces that cold air and lets it linger into the upcoming weekend with that dry weather prevailing going into Saturday and Sunday. So no big storms, no big rain, but a big chill that sets up tonight and kind of lingers into the next few days right through the weekend. Saturday and Sunday still running anywhere from 5 to 9 degrees below average. The 7-day forecast down the shore points to not much warmth there as well. Typically you get a little bit of an ocean breeze and it makes it feel a touch warmer. No, we are winds are out of the west over the next few days, and that'll keep things feeling quite chilly going even into the weekend. So yeah, we have a mix of clouds and sun, but definitely that November chill, Ken, is here to stay.
Yeah. November chill here to stay. I hear you. I'm sad, but I hear you. Just a reminder again, I go on the Amazon,
Mhm.
or go into my local three-letter pharmaceutical store, and
Right.
I buy, sounds like a TV network, but the middle letter's different. I buy these packs they have out of just moisturizer. I put one in
Uh-huh.
like every coat pocket, put it out on the desk, keep it so literally everywhere there's a thing of moisturizer because this time of year, I don't
Okay.
know about you, but like I'm already ashy. I'm already ashy
Have
because
you
I'm an old
discovered
man.
lanolin? Lanolin is amazing.
Well, you must
So,
know about it because that's for the
nursing
baby, right?
nursing mothers, yes, nursing mothers use it to moisturize as their sensitive areas, and I gotta say, it's like incredible. And you hear pharmacists talk about it a lot on social too, so they're onto something. But
Well, that
lanolin,
makes sense.
wild, yeah. Hmm.
I think, isn't that the natural moisture in a baby's skin? Isn't that lanolin, or am I
Might
wrong?
be, might be. We got to get
That's
a
brilliant.
doctor on to tell us. Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, because I know that sometimes when you use regular, like wax-based, paraffin-based moisturizers, that it actually for the long haul isn't better for you. So that sounds like it's
Hmm.
nutrifying for the skin, lanolin.
Hmm.
I like that advice. Happy anniversary. There you go.
Thank you.
Very good, sir. Thank you. We'll check back. It is 52. The temperature keeps dropping, 49 in Trenton right now. In terms of traffic, let's go over to the Essex Toll Plaza, Garden State Parkway. We are told we have a disabled vehicle on the GSP causing that, what you see on your screen right now. And that is by the Essex Toll Plaza, Bloomfield, with the toll lane blocked, lane 6 specifically, and that's causing the delays. We want to remind you, if you're headed to any of the area airports, that many of the parking lots are at 95 to 100% capacity because tomorrow is Veterans Day. A lot of schools are off. A lot of workers took the day off to honor our veterans, and properly so. But as a result, people have filled the airport parking lots, and with air travel now delayed until the government reopens, and hopefully that'll happen this week, we have issues. So make sure you book your parking facility in advance of going to the airport. Don't get there and assume you'll have a parking space. Go back to the Garden State Parkway, different place. This is exit 136 Stiles Street, Cranford Township. We got the 2 left lanes blocked. That's causing what you see on your screen there. Down pole on Route 168, both directions by Lakeland Avenue, Gloucester Township. All lanes closed on that. GSP upper and lower levels, not GSP, GWB, upper and lower levels right now, very heavy. 40 to 45 minutes getting across. You can see the upper level on the right, lower on the left. Lincoln is 35, Holland is 25. 836. So what were the security lapses that let thieves steal priceless historic pieces from Le Louvre? That's the Louvre. Plus, there's a new scam out there involving your credit card. Thieves could be charging up a storm while your card is right in your pocket. Brand and digital strategist Fisher is with us. He can be found on X and Threads with username @Fisher and through his website, fisher.media. Joins us with more. Good morning, Fisher.
Good morning.
So,
Yeah, so
did I get this right? Wait. So the Louvre people who are using Windows XP, for real, they were using Windows XP.
Don't steal the whole story. You got the whole story.
I was going to say their password was as strong as mine, like password 1234.
Yes, it is. So yes, thieves stole $100 million in jewels from the world-famous Louvre Museum in Paris. Now, a decade-old security audit came out highlighting lapses in security, including what you were taking from me, running outdated Windows software, unsecured roof hatches, and of course, using the word Louvre as the password for their security cameras. It's very Ocean's 11. Kind of a guy sitting in a bathroom on a toilet using the computer to hack into the computers or into the cameras. Yeah, Louvre was the password. That's it. So not very secure. Obviously, they have arrested most of the thieves. But there are steps that you could take to have better security for accounts that you have. And also, importantly, this is the tie-in for your house, right? So first, for accounts you have, Ken, do not reuse the same password for any account. I'll say it for the people in the back. Do not reuse the same password for any account, because if they break into your email and then they find out that you have Chase or JP Morgan or whatever it is, your bank, they might try the same email and password for your bank. So don't do that. Use uppercase and lowercase letters as well as numbers and characters as your password. Use two-factor authentication. Even use passkeys where available. Passkeys are biometric, so it's your Touch ID, Face ID, things like that. And I actually just read a story last night about a brokerage firm that would not refund a couple's money that had it stolen because they didn't have two-factor authentication enabled. If you hear of a data breach, immediately change your passwords. Do not risk it. You can check if you've been breached at a website called Have I Been Pawned. It's pwned.com. We talked about it last week, and it'll lay out all the places that your personal information might be. And importantly, Ken, do not write down passwords. Don't store them in a notebook next to your computer like my mother.
I was doing it right now. And listen, password, as long as you misspell it, if you misspell password, they can't figure it out.
Actually, if you spelled password with 2 5s and an exclamation point in numbers, yes, you technically could get away with that because it's not password 1 2 3 4, but probably just make it a bigger password, store it in something like Apple Passwords, Google Password Manager, 1Password, things of that sort. Now for your house, this is important. Change all your passwords on your router, your light switches, your cameras, your Googles, your HomePod, your Alexas. making sure it didn't go off. If it touches your network, make sure the password is changed, and the default password is not that the one that your device came with, because my default password for my Nest cams would be the same one as yours. So you got to change it. And also have your guests.
Wait. You
use
mean
your
there's a
guest-
password? You mean there's a password on that thing? Okay, I'm sorry.
And have guests use a guest network. Don't give them your username and password.
Oh, it's like I've done everything wrong so far.
I know. This is an intervention. Pam's here. I don't know who else is in the back. We're here to get you. Mike, if he can come back on, we finally got you.
Listen, thank God for my dial-up modem. Listen, you don't make fun. He's making fun. Are you done with that? Because I know we got to talk about the
Yes.
credit cards in your wallet.
Quickly. Yes. Kim Commando has alerted. Kim Commando, the radio host, alert about a new
Yes,
scam
love
called
her.
ghost tapping. Love her. Scammers carry an NFC reader, like the readers you use at your business to pay, or when you go to a business to pay. They walk past you, they tap your wallet and hope to get a charge. So say they put in $100 and then they just tap your wallet or your purse, and then you've been charged. Thieves are hanging out in crowded areas to be less conspicuous: subways, trains, malls, airports, things of that sort. Maybe not airports right now. Ways you can prevent this: use an RFID blocking wallet or sleeve. You can get it at Amazon. They're cheap. My entire wallet, because I only carry one credit card in my driver's license, the whole thing is RFID blocking. Turn off tap to pay. Certain credit card companies or debit cards allow you to turn off the tap to pay on your credit card. Now, you'd have to insert the credit card at that point. Remove any credit cards from your wallet that you don't need. That's really a simple thing to do. Utilize credit cards on your phone rather than carrying the physical card. Like I said, I carry one credit card. I see you waving your phone, and then the rest of them are on my. I carry one credit card in my wallet. The rest are on my phone. That's it. And then also add transaction alerts to your account, so you'll know anything over $5, $10 gets charged. You'll know that it happens, and you can track it down immediately. And if you want to read more, since I ripped this story off from Kim Commando, you can go to her website, commando.com, Komando, and read more. She's great.
Kim Commando is just amazing, and that's great advice. And yes, you could I do turn off my RFID on my phone when I'm not using it. Only
But
when
you
I'm
don't
about
have
to
to.
go into the market, whatever. You don't have to.
So
Okay.
no.
All right.
So I'm talking about credit cards. The phone, you have to verify. You have to double click. You have to show your face. You have to enter a passcode. Those are secure on your phone. And this is not for your phone. This isn't an issue for your phone. It's for the credit cards that are in your wallet. Because when you go to a store, if you don't use your phone, you tap the credit card to the reader. So yeah.
Very good. Brandon, digital strategist Fisher, found on X and Threads,
Mike.
username @Fisher, and through website fisher.media. Thank you for joining us.
I know
sir.
Mike wants to talk about your lack of using passwords. I see him in the monitor. You guys can have that conversation later.
We got a hard out, Bill. Thank you, sir. All right. It is now 49 degrees. We're coming right back on New Jersey Mornings. Don't go away.
Hey, New Jersey, want to choose how you live as you age? Tune into AARP New Jersey's new show, The Power of Us, the show that celebrates aging with dignity, purpose, and joy. From protecting yourself against fraud, to staying healthy and aging in place, to finding purpose through volunteering, we've got the tools, tips, and stories to help you thrive. Join us on ONNJ and discover the power of us.
Good morning. Welcome back to ONNJ Jersey Mornings for your Monday. I'm Ken Rosato, 8:45. Going to get cold. Straight to meteorologist Mike Favetta with the soon-to-be very chilly forecast. Good morning, Mike.
Yes. Maybe you're big because George Costanza wallet can keep you nice and warm today. Stick that right in your side, and it's like a heating element. But
Yeah,
that was my question for
my
Fisher.
big wallet's that thin.
I know we were up against the clock, but it was a valid question of sometimes when you put your wallet against the RFID card reader, it kind of confuses the machine and it doesn't charge anything. So I don't know if that's maybe an additional security feature. We'll have to ask next week. Our forecast for this week features another round of dry weather. So we're still in a drought across northern New Jersey, but there's an improvement, a big improvement after so much rainfall, not just the last week, but the last month, with only an inch of rainfall deficit over the last 30 days, bringing back the showers that we had last night, aiding in that. And of course, the dry weather going forward and the cool down that moves on in is going to make it feel quite chilly over the next few days. Into the next week or so, there's a slight warm up going into next week. Most of the heat is locked in the Midwest, but again, that's an average temperature. We could still have these cold outbreaks, which we will throughout today, going into tonight, and then even across New Jersey throughout the next 2 weeks, slightly higher than average rainfall expected. So the 7-day forecast points to a very cold week ahead. Temperatures down around freezing each morning, climbing only into the upper 40s most afternoons, maybe touching 50. And then the weekend, also chilly. You can't even find the warmth at the shore. It'll, I think, feel colder there because you have a little bit more of a wind exposure. Even though the winds are primarily from the west and northwest over the next week, it'll feel chilly going into the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Lots of sunshine, but also lots of chilly weather. Will there be a warm up beyond that? I think we're kind of locked in. Once we get into mid-November, we stay kind of in this chilly pattern. And while this is a little excessive for the cold, I think at least we start to, well, see temperatures moderate next week. We've got another check of your forecast in just a few minutes.
We continue our AARP New Jersey election coverage, and we're doing this kind of post-election, of course, breaking down what yesterday's results mean for communities across New Jersey and the policies that affect them most.
Joining us now is Mary Saccone, Director of Policy at Disability Rights New Jersey. She is a leading advocate for the rights and inclusion of people with disabilities and has been a strong voice on protecting Medicaid and ensuring access to essential services across the state. Mary, welcome to the show. Good to see you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
All right. So can we just talk a little bit about yesterday's election results, your immediate reaction, and what you think this outcome could mean for people with disabilities here in New Jersey?
Well, I think it's hard to say exactly. There's going to be a lot of issues that are going to have to be addressed with HR 1. And it's going to have a big impact on the state budget. HR 1 is going to require is going to cost New Jersey a lot of Medicaid dollars and Medicaid services. Now, with the election going forward, Governor-elect Cheryl has talked about how she's going to address, HR 1 and trying to protect the most vulnerable in going forward. But it remains to be seen because there's only so many dollars that are going to be available. We're leading a coalition to try to educate lawmakers on ways to minimize the impact on the most vulnerable, in terms of trying to make sure that people who are subject to the community engagement / work requirements of HR 1 when they go into effect in December 2026, to make sure that they are not cut from Medicaid solely because they didn't provide the documentation.
Yeah.
And we've written.
No, I'm sorry to step on you. You can continue, Mary. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, we have my organization and our coalition has written to the state officials about ways to try to minimize that, such as gathering data, work data, income data from sources that they already have so that they know that they're already working, they're meeting the income requirements in terms of showing community engagement, so that they don't have to show that. So it's automatically given, and that way they don't get cut because they don't provide the documentation, but the state already has that documentation to know that they're already meeting those requirements. Things like that can be done One, to minimize the people that are being cut off who are eligible, but who would otherwise be eligible, but are being cut off because they didn't fill out the requirements. And two, also to cut down on the burdensome bureaucratic stuff that the state has to do, which costs the state as well.
And Medicaid, for instance, just one example, that's 40% plus, a little over 40% of the New Jersey state budget right now. That's a massive amount of money. But with the new federal requirements, that I'm sure is causing headaches for an awful lot of people. All of a sudden, you just see your benefits stop, thinking, what did I do wrong?
Exactly. And, we're not talking about people who are, have a lot of options. We're talking about people who the Medicaid expansion was for adults that are up to 135% or 38% of poverty. That's not a large number, especially in New Jersey. We have people who are disabled, who are on SSI, who are, Medicaid takes care of like 50%, covers 50% of the children in New Jersey. So we're talking about very vulnerable people, and cutting their Medicaid services is going to be devastating for them.
Right. I mean,
Also,
because, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, when that's another question I was going to ask you. People think Medicaid, older people, but you talk about, younger people aging out of once they turn 18, the SSI, SSDI, a lot of those acronyms that are thrown out, how they are affected. And, people trying to navigate this. The services are available, but trying to cut through the red tape and understand what is owed to you, what you need to register for, when you need to register for. That alone can become a full-time job trying to figure things out. As a parent who has aging parents and, children, it's a lot to cut through. So as Mikey Sherrill starts to, begins to look at her first 100 days, what are some of the things that you would like her to focus on to help those most vulnerable?
Oh, there's so many. But yeah, one of the things is, you've got you're talking about when your child turns 18, or in New Jersey 21, once they age out of the school. For people with disabilities, they age out of special education and into the adult system. Well, there's a big gap in services once they hit the adult services. So they call it the cliff, cliff service, basically, because there's not as many services once you get out of special education in schools. So to try to make sure that that doesn't happen and that there are appropriate services. And then you're talking about the other end for families who have elderly who are now living at home but need services. Yeah. Medicaid is the major funder of home and community-based services for people who want to stay in their home as they get older. Or if they need to go into a nursing home, Medicaid is the biggest funder for that. Without Medicaid, that is really going to hurt those people. And one of the big optional home and community-based services are optional services. So if the state has to cut services, one of the first things they always cut is home and community-based services, which forces people into nursing homes, which is actually more expensive than
this is the thing.
Exactly.
This is the point, right? You fight for services for your children so that when they turn 18, 21, they're more self-sufficient, so they don't have to go into group homes. You have aging parents, you want to keep them in their home as long as possible, but the system is almost creating a way that it's pushing them to where it's going to cost so much more.
It's setting it up for failure, too, because you could only have so many people working a floor at a nursing home. You have 30 patients and only 5 nurses or aides. It's a pretty difficult task.
It is, and there's only so many beds in the state, and people don't want to live in nursing homes. They want to live in the home that they have lived their entire lives. 100%. They want to live with their families, and it is much less expensive to keep them in their homes. So, but if the state has to cut services, they can't cut nursing home services because it's a required mandatory service under federal law. Home and community-based services is what they call optional. So they can cut that, but it's going to cost the state more money because nursing homes are more expensive than keeping people in their homes. And that's what we need to really focus on and try to protect people so that they can continue to live in their homes and live in their communities with their families and friends.
Yeah.
And we're seeing numbers, we're seeing the next generation aging now, getting to that point. It's blossoming in terms of numbers. This is not getting smaller, this is getting larger. So we really need to get together and figure out a solution ASAP, because 10 years from now, you're going to have an aging population that's much larger than it currently is.
People are living longer,
Yeah, they sure are.
with advances in pharmaceuticals. and
Well,
treatment.
you look at the generation right now, it's the baby boomers who are now hitting that point. And my generation, which is Generation X, we are a much smaller number of people. So it's going to be really problematic that there's going to be a lot of need for services for the elderly going forward.
Yeah. So looking ahead, can you just talk a little bit about what hope when it comes to where New Jersey is headed, when it comes to inclusion, accessibility, equity for people with disabilities? You know, people in that sandwich generation like us, we're X generations. You know, we have people who are aging. You know, what can we do now? You know, to better prepare if you have people also, you know, with disabilities who need to be protected.
Well, I've been in this business for 27 years. I've been doing this a long time. And I will say that New Jersey has come a long way in terms of inclusion for people with disabilities. People are being included in schools more, and they're being placed in more inclusive settings. And they find that if people are included in schools, then they spend more of their lifetime included in the community. The rise of group homes and different options besides developmental centers or psychiatric hospitals has been phenomenal since I've started doing this work. And again, at the other end, people are receiving more home and community-based services so they can live in their homes as they get older. So there has been a big improvement in inclusion. However, we've got a long way to go. And it's really important, and that's something we've been fighting for many years, because inclusion means participation in society. It means being in, working in competitive integrated employment. It
100%.
means being part of your community, going to the local churches,
and not just warehoused, and not being warehoused. You want to be part. That's the whole point of life, and that's what we want to strive for. I didn't mean to cut you short, Mary, only because we're at the end of the show. But Mary Saccone, Director of Policy at Disability Rights New Jersey, you do such a great job for so many people who need you. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Well, thank you for having me.
You bet. Great interview and just a great service. It is the end of the show right now. We have a temperature 53 degrees and it is dropping. Meteorologist Mike Favetta says maybe a scattered morning shower, clouds through the day, blustery, breezy, and damp. The high right now, 53. It's going to fall through the day down to the 20s tonight. That's on New Jersey Mornings for you, Monday, November 10th, 2025. I'm Ken Rosato. Have a great day. We'll see you again tomorrow morning at 7.